Well, it's been nearly a week now since I did this one, and my hands have been so swollen I just haven't been able to manipulate the mouse. But the weather has cooled down a bit. Even though my hands are still swollen, they're a little bit easier to use today. So we're going to continue with this design. Now, so far we have created a shape and used the duplicate function, which was right click and drag inside of the shape, and duplicated all our cutwork. We've also combined all our cutwork commands so as we don't get hundreds of cutwork changes for our needles. Now I'm going to go to File, Print Preview. Is there 2 pages? Yes. If you look here, you'll see we've got the colour of our main thread, cutwork needle 90 degrees, cutwork needle 45 degrees, cutwork needle 0 degrees, and cutwork needle 135 degrees. So we've got 4 needle changes. Now I want to show you what happens if I say uncombine, and come down to the bottom, hold down my shift, select all of them and tell that uncombine. Now remember, in Print Preview I had 4 cutwork needle changes. File, Print Preview, next page. First set of cutwork, satin stitch, next set of cutwork, satin stitch, next set of cutwork, satin stitch, and it goes on. So we'll go to the next page, and it goes on. That's the final one. Okay, so let's tell that close and tell this lot combine, because what we don't want is to have to do all those cutwork needle changes. You'd be driven absolutely nutty by the end of your design. Now we're going to do the actual embroidery. And before I do that, I want to actually change the colour of the thread. And I'm going to change it. We'll make it green. Okay, no, we can't do that. We've got green as a needle colour. Let's make it different colour. One that is not part of the cutwork needle coding. That's better. And we'll use a separate colour for the actual tool we're going to be using. And I'm going to use a satin border for these, and then I'll use the turning angle tool for the scallops. I'll highlight my tool, keep my left mouse button depressed so as the flyout opens, and come here to the satin line. Now I'm going to change my colour, and we'll make this one, can't make it blue because we've got blue as a cutwork needle. We'll go for coral. Put that in, come over to here, put that one in, come over to here, put this one in. And of course you wouldn't have to use these colours when you're stitching. It's only so as you don't get muddled with the colour codes for the needles and your thread for your actual embroidery. And then go and pick up the satin option for the turning angle tool. I'll blow this up because I like to see what it is I'm doing, and I need a couple of guidelines. Right, that one. Oh, hand is playing up. That's just below 60. I'm going to blow this up a bit higher and see exactly where it is. There it is. 4, 5. It's at 60.5. Then come over to this side and 60.5, which tells me there's something really wacky about this design. because they don't match up. That one's nearly on the centre line, but not quite. So from there to there is 60.5. From there to there is 60.5 and it's way off. Let's just drop this back down. I don't like things being way off. I want this to be a repeater. They should all be the same distance. So I'm going to leave that one there. Now I need a guideline for across there and a guideline for down here. And a guideline for the base of this next one. Right, so where's the centre of this? It doesn't work true. I think if you were doing this by hand, it wouldn't really make much difference where it was. But we're not doing it by hand, we have to use an embroidery machine that likes everything to be precise. Especially if, like me, you're going to use it as a repeat design. Now, I don't want to have to shift all this across. So if I move that to, it's approximately the centre, that's 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 29 centimetres, millimetres. So that would bring this to 59 millimetres. And if I bring this one into 59 millimetres, that would make that one 29 millimetres. So that's where my actual join is going to be. Just there. And I just want to touch this up a little. That's better. Am I being fussy? Yeah, because I want this to work. Okay. So let's start. And come down 2 millimetres. Or will I make it 3? Yeah, I'll make it 3. I like a decent depth on my first stitch. 1, 2. These little bubbles on the end are pearls. You don't have to worry too much about that. And gradually straighten up your angles. I want to come up to that line, left mouse click into here, and then continue down here. When I said these little white dots around the edge of pearls, it's, if you did this by hand, you would be doing a pearl buttonhole, which gives you that nice ridge all around the edge. Which on our embroidery machines we don't get. We have to come up with a stitch. Well, I came up with a stitch, but I can't use it inside my turning angle tool because I don't know how to create a logarithm to do that. And that one needs to come to there. Left mouse stitch, left mouse, and then continue on my way. Up to that point, down to that point, and continue on my way. Down to that point. I'm so glad we eventually got the guidelines. It was absolute murder getting balanced shapes without guidelines. And I like my shapes to be reasonably balanced. Up to that point, down to that point, and then enter. And let's just pull back. It's a yucky colour, isn't it? Now I don't want a split satin stitch. I'll bring my grid in and highlight the last item, get my measuring stick, blow this, oops, blow it up, Maggie, not shrink it. That's my trace line, just in there. Ooh, that is a wide shape. Okay, highlight, drop that down, drop that down. Where'd you go? There you are. Bring it down just a touch more. One. And swing you back onto the straight and narrow. All these trails that you can see, they're not jumps, they are the path that the cutwork needle is creating between each one of these circles. Teeny bit fat there. Okay, object details. Let me take the auto split off. Okay. Get my measuring stick. That's my trace line. That's my trace line 7.9, 7.8. Yeah, I'll probably get away with that. He doesn't seem to be exactly where I want him. Until my measuring stick get lost. Non-digitizing mode. Reshape. Right, this node down to there. And I think I'll stop fiddling. I could fiddle forever. I think my middle name should be Nero. And there is our cutwork design. Now, if this was just an individual design, that would be enough. But it's not an individual design. It's got to be part of a repeat. So in the next video, I'll show you how we get the hoop with the alignment marks in. And you have to go to combine for that, add alignment marks on output, OK, and use our combine mode to get the hoopings. And then we also use the combine mode to get rid of those that we don't want. So we're going to make 3 hoopings, but we only want 1. And we want the middle hooping because that gives us the alignment marks at the beginning and the alignment marks at the end. The other 2 only give you the end one, and on the third one you just get the beginning one. And that's no good. And because of the cutwork needles, very strange things happen. And I'll show you that in the next video.